Owl fans, welcome to Hootie Who, Impact Media's weekly jump into the world of KSU football, hockey, and rugby. I'm your host, Jeremy the Impact York. Welcome to the show. We're gearing up for the game this weekend. I believe a 7 p.m. kickoff on that. I'll get to that in a minute. Um, as always, if you want to follow us anywhere here at the show, depending on where you're watching this, if you're on YouTube, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button there. That way you know when all of our content comes out and is available, and you'll get those notifications, and it will be great. And it helps promote this show, which helps me do fun things that you guys are going to enjoy. Other than that, let's start with rugby, because men's rugby kicks off their alumni game this Saturday. I believe at 10:30 start, and I believe it's the field behind the visitors stands at Fifth Third Bank Stadium. That's usually where they play. That's a great rugby field, by the way. Great place to play. There are some bleachers, but if you want to bring your own seats, please do that. Not sure if we're going to make it out to this one or not. We will play in that one by ear. But I know Coach Matt and the gang are going to have all the players ready to go, and of course the alumni are going to be there to bring it and give these boys a run and really get them ready for that opening game next Saturday at Emory. If you hadn't seen rugby, come out and see rugby. It's that and hockey and of course football are just great pure sports to see up close. Just fantastic time. And like I said, everybody in the stands, practically everybody, will be helpful. So if you don't quite understand what's going on, or you have a question or want to clarify something, maybe a call that happened, or how this was a score and this wasn't a score, ask. Ask. That's what I did. Even when I covered rugby ATL for years, if I had a question, I asked somebody around me, or I asked the players afterwards, "Hey, can you clarify this moment here?" And they would go, "Absolutely, absolutely. This was what it was." And go check it out. Give them a big hootie hoo. If you see us, come say hello. We're hard to miss. I mean, we're repping it. We're not just repping it because we're on this show. I wear this hat out. This football season, I need to get me another hat because I'm going to wear this one out sooner rather than later, and that's a good thing. I wear my KSU gear everywhere. Um, but I wanted to get that one out of the way. Make sure that you check out the alumni game. It's free. All their games are free. Go down there, support the team, cheer loud. The guys would love it. And meet some of the alumni, because there have been some great, great talented players that played for KSU back in the day. When I say back in the day, some of them even recently. So go check that out. Like I said, tell Coach Matt and the gang that I say hello, and maybe you'll run into me. It's always possible. Uh, Hockey's still about a month out. You guys asked me again on that. Hockey is still a month out because they will start October 4th and 5th at Georgia Tech. The home opener will be October 18th and 19th. And of course, they're playing at the Ice House, which is just a few minutes from campus. And once again, this guy will be the voice of the hockey team for YouTube. Getting the voice ready now. I've been kind of getting ready for a little while, but getting ready now. Looks like Wheels is going to be back on the camera. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't confirm anybody else as a part of the team, as part of the broadcast team or PA or anything, because I haven't heard anything. I need to reach out. I need to reach out and see if some of the other ones are coming back, and if not, who's taking over. But it's going to be a fun year, man. Like I said, there's a lot of games that you could easily travel to. Um, like I said, the Georgia Tech right out of the gate, because Georgia Tech plays their home games. The Division III team plays their home games just down from where the Gladiators play in Gwinnett. It's just, I mean, three streets over, something like that. It's where the Thrashers used to practice. Fantastic arena. So that's travel. If you're at KSU, a hop, skip, and a jump. And then they open up with Ole Miss. Like I said, they open up here. Other than that, go support the team. Like I said, hockey's another one. If you haven't seen a hockey game up close, I implore you, please go do that. It's by far one of my favorite sports, especially to see up close. Football, we all know football is great. We've seen football. Go see football, though. But go see rugby if you haven't. Even if you have, go see hockey. It's they're fantastic, and they could use your support just as much as football did. Now, let's jump into football. We talked a little about football, and I know a lot of you guys have told me, man, we lost to University of Texas, San Antonio, 28-16, and we got to hand it to us. Did you watch the game? Because this was 21-16 with just a handful of minutes to go before Owen McCown found the end zone again and made it 28-16 with a mere handful of seconds still on the clock. Turns out Owen McCown, pretty good. Second generation guy. His dad is, which McCown was he? He wasn't Luke. He's the Josh McCown, I believe, is his dad. And he plays like a McCown. He's very good. Accounted for all 4 touchdowns. It happens. UTSA is looking pretty strong in the All-American Conference. They would have to be penciled in as my pick right now to potentially take that. And UTSA is going to face, I believe, Texas in a couple weeks. They're going to give Texas a run. We just talked about that on the Hunker Down Georgia show as we were previewing Texas coming up in a couple weeks for Georgia. Yeah, the Roadrunners are going to give it to the Longhorns, and that's going to be a fun game to watch. Hopefully, get a chance to watch that one when it happens. Takeaways on this one. The transition from the spread option to a more pro style or whatever they're going with, because I like that Coach Bohannon's not really putting a name on it. He's like, no, we're evolving the offense, and we're going to open it up more, and we're going to throw more, and we're going to do some stuff that you haven't seen this team do before. And I think they're starting to do that. They were hanging in this game, and it wasn't that UTSA was letting them, because UTSA was trying their best to put distance between them and Kennesaw, and they just couldn't quite get it. Davis Bryson, 14 for 28, 50%, 202. He threw a touchdown, didn't throw an interception. I don't mind that, because he also had 21 yards on the ground. Quay Ashley had 26, and Preston Daniels and Michael Benefield had some as well. I thought overall, run game needed a little bit of work, but here's the thing. Quay Ashley, out of the backfield, he had that big pass that he caught, ran it for 51 yards. Carson Kent had a pretty good day, including catching a touchdown. Gabriel Benyard, that dude, man, he is lightning when he hits the corners. You try to get him into space, and he is hard to tackle because they can't find him. Tykeem Wallace, Christian Moss, and actually Blake Bohannon got some catches as well, some big catches. So here's the thing. Here's the long for these guys. Moss and Blake Bohannon, their longest catches, 10 yards. I'm fine with that. For Tykeem Wallace, 24. Gabriel Benyard had a 22. Carson Kent had a 25. And then Quay Ashley, like I said, the 51. They're getting yards. They're getting into space. They're open. They're getting open. They're helping Bryson as much as possible because they're getting open. They're doing a good job in this scheme. I think the coordinators are doing a fantastic job. And the defense, holy cow. Wow. This defense was giving it to the Roadrunners. I mean, what was it? Like midway through the second, when UTSA scored that the second touchdown, they didn't score again until almost the end of the game because this defense was just smashing them. They were in the backfield. Cornelius Johnson with a couple sacks. Silas, Miles. Want to make sure I get everybody's names in. Javen Williams. They all 5 total sacks. That's the kind of numbers that they were putting up when they were what Division 1, 2A or division whatever division whatever that was that they when they were last year and the years before that up until this year. Um, they were breaking up passes. They uh, they were just making plays, and they were constantly had Owen McCown running all over the place. I bet if you ask him, yeah, he had a good statistical day. What was his stats? Can we get those up? Yeah, they are. 28 for 38, 340, 3 touchdowns. It's a pretty good day. Pretty good day. But they held let's see, Robert Henry was their top rusher. He only had 6 carries for 30 yards. They kept him under 100 yards rushing, only 76. Just incredible. Incredible. And in fact, they only had 3 receivers that had more than 59 total yards, and that was Willie McCoy, Robert Henry, and Devin McEwen. Now, McEwen is their go-to guy. McEwen is a baller, and 11 catches for 79 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, but they were short. They were short. He's the go-to guy, but Kennesaw started to figure that one out. And I really enjoyed. Well, they had 1, 3. They had 3 sacks. That's not bad. But what seemed to help Kennesaw to me, what seemed to help the Owls was they started to go to what they know. Instead of trying to, they weren't really forcing, I don't want to say that, but instead of trying um, to do the new strategy and stay on the new game plan, they said, you know what? Let's go back to some of the spread plays and just see if UTSA could stop them. And sorry, they didn't. But then when they started to do that, started to sniff them out a little bit, that is when they started to open up the pass game. Use what you know, use what you're good at, what you've done up until this point. Use that, just rip the top off the defense with your run game. And when everybody starts to move in close, you got them. That's when you start lighting it up. Davis Bryson can throw those passes. A couple weird referee calls in this one. I don't think it affected the outcome much, but there at one point a Roadrunner player ended up in the Kennesaw bench area, and I think it was a late hit, a very late hit, and then like he did something else when he was over there, and he got 2 personal foul calls, which would normally be great, except for the other Bohannon brother who normally calls in a lot of the signals. Apparently went over there to, I think the hit was on Blake, his brother, and he went over there to take up for his brother, which is understandable. Coach, I don't think would have had much of a problem with that. But in getting involved, he picked up a personal foul, and it just nullified all the personal fouls involved in that. So instead of getting up to 30 yards, 15 to 30 yards for that, they ended up with a big squadouche 0. Like I say, I don't think it really impacted the game so much. And I don't, it's not an everyday thing that one Bohannon brother has to take up for the other one. And Blake didn't need him to, but totally understand. I still take up for my brother, and he still takes up for me. So, I can't fault that. And like I said, I would be willing to bet that Brian Bohannon probably said, I appreciate what you did. Your brother appreciates what you did. Your teammate appreciates what you did. We just can't have that. And I'm sure he said it just like that. I'm sure because he was more unglued at the officials, as he should have, and it's just It is what it is. They also, I think they were looking at targeting on that one too, but it wasn't targeting. It's close, but it wasn't really targeting. Like I said, I don't think it really affected the gameplay so much. Um, I got to give it to what's his name, Austin Welch, who went 3 for 3, including a 48-yard field goal. He had the extra point. He accounted for 10 total points. 10 of the 16 were him. That's outstanding. They have a tremendous kicker in Austin Welch, and I look forward to seeing him kick in person. And then Jacob Ulrich. I don't know much about Jacob Ulrich. In fact, let's see if we can get something on the screen. I'll tell you guys something about him other than his name is Jacob Ulrich. He is from Decula, Georgia. Did he play soccer or anything? I mean, he has booming kicks, and he just drops them in the bucket all over the field. Like, just you could about go just take some paint and spray paint an X, and I bet he's going to hit it with the ball. He's going to kick the ball and hit it. I mean, he's a freshman, 6'5", 205, but my goodness, he was he was dropping the ball and pinning them deep every chance he got. Um, he had 5 total punts for 273 yards. That is a 54.6 average. He dropped 2 of them inside the 20, and he had a 59-yard punt that, I mean, just outstanding. Outstanding. And that was in a dome. It's a little weird kicking in a dome from what I've heard. So imagine when he's back at Fifth Third, when he's back at the fraction. He's got all that open air. He's going to be booming some kicks, man. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But you know what? The spread on this one was like a million and a half, or it was something stupid, just completely moronic. And to only lose by 12 when you were down 5, all the way up until where is that? With 3:52 to go is when they scored again, and it was off. I can't remember if it was a turnover on downs or something. It was off of something, but I like where this team is at. They scored a touchdown. The answer to the trivia question of who scored the first Division One KSU touchdown, well, that was Davis Bryson to Carson Kent, the tight end, for 25 yards. And Austin Welch kicked the extra point. There's your trivia question. I think they're going to work more on the run game, which is interesting. But I think you're going to see it a little more this week. Like I said, it is the home. They don't. No, they said 25,911 people were at this. That's a lot. That's one of the bigger crowds that KSU has played in front of. It's not. That's not a knock because you guys pack out the fraction all the time. Fifth Third Bank um, do such a great job in doing that. But to play in the Alamo Dome, I bet that was pretty fun. And possession wise, we're talking 21 minutes to 31 minutes. KSU with the 29, they did a just tremendous job. I said they only had 1 turnover. They had 15 first downs, 253 total yards. Got to get that up a little bit, but they also, like I said, literally lost in the last handful of minutes. They were in this game the whole way. So, just spectacular effort. And that leads us to the game this week, where you are going to see the University of Louisiana Ragin Cajuns. Good thing is, all those years that I spent covering Georgia State, shout out to them on their valiant attempt versus Tech. They come up a little short. I've seen the Raging Cajuns quite a few times in 7 or 8 years I was at Georgia State. No, I was a student. No, let's put that. I didn't. I went to KSU as a student, and I went to Chattahoochee Tech. There's the answer to that trivia question. Um, but the Raging Cajuns are a fun matchup. They are a fun matchup. Uh, they still have Woolridge. Woolridge, yep. He was 25 for 33, 308, 3 touchdowns, and an interception last week as they picked up the win. Perry is their big time Running back, he had 5 carries for 45 yards. That game there ended up being a little more aerial. And Broussard had 4 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. They're pretty solid. They're pretty solid. Do we have a ridiculous? Yeah. The Raging Cajuns by 15 and a half. Take the under. Over under 47 and a half points. Take the under. Take the under. This one's going to be pretty close. I think it comes down to a score. This is a 7 p.m. Saturday evening kickoff. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. Looks like it's going to be sunny and 78, which means over there it'll be closer to 80. It can get cooking right over there on the blacktop. We hope to be there. Haven't confirmed anything yet. We're looking forward to doing that soon, and when we do, we'll announce it. But I know I know a decent amount about some of their opponents this year because I've seen them from covering other things. They got Louisiana this week. They go to San Jose State next week. I have seen them in person. I have seen UT Martin. I have seen Jack State. There was another Western Kentucky I've seen a couple times, and I feel like there's one more, but I'll have to figure that one out. But like I said, Louisiana, 7 p.m. Action at the Fraction. Who Louisiana beat? Can we see that? There it is. They beat Grambling. Okay, they beat Grambling 40-10. Okay, okay, not a bad one there. Keys to the game. If we can keep the turnovers to 1 or less, that's definitely going to help. If also we can start with the run, use the run, use what you're looking at. What you're not what you're looking at, what you're good at. We know you can run the ball, so let's start by establishing the run. It's going to open up the pass. Bohannon knows that. He's not going to listen to me because he's way more qualified at this than I am. This is just from observing from up top and from a distance. But I would do that and just win the special teams battle. Win the special teams battle. Because I could name half a dozen things that are easy things for them to do. But win the special teams battle. Don't give up big returns. If you get in field goal position, take the points and continue to let Ulrich just. I mean, if you were playing Battleship, he could drop it right on the frigate. He could bomb that frigate like nobody's business. Hopefully somebody gets that reference. Other than that, I think it's going to be a fun game. Like I said, good chance we're there. Haven't confirmed anything yet. Hope to confirm that in the next day or so. And we've reached the end of Hootie Who. So appreciate all you guys tuning in to another amazing show. If you do see me at the game, I will probably be trying to get a new hat. And if you do see me at a game, come over, say hello. We can take a selfie. You put it on social media, you tag it. And the first person that does that, I'll go buy you a new hat or shirt. Compliments Impact Media. Our marketing department hates when I do things like this, but this show is more about you guys than it is about us. So if you see us out there, take that picture, tag it, and as soon as you tag it, we will go right over to the store. You pick out a shirt or a hat, it's yours. Compliments Impact Media. That's going to do it. Shout out to all the amazing Hootie Who's out there. This has been another great edition of Hootie Who. Go watch rugby. Go watch hockey. Go watch football. Deuces Gooses. Go Owls.